lesson 23, and today we are talking about the flat keys. So this is going to be very similar to what we did with the sharp keys, but it's all flats, okay? So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to mark the half steps between note 3 and 4 and 7 and 8. So remember, I'll do this in bass clef. Remember that the half steps are all in a major scale are always, if I could stand on my head and turn blue in the face to tell you this so you would remember, I hope you remember. The half steps in a major scale are always between the 3rd and the 4th note and the 7th and the 8th note. Not fingers, not your 3rd and 4th finger, but the 3rd and the 4th note, okay? So the very first scale that we have there is the F scale. Okay, so this is in bass clef for cellos. But violins and violas, this applies to you too. So find the 3rd and the 4th note. So count up 1, 2, 3, and draw a tent between note 3 and 4 and note 7 and 8. Okay? 3 and 4 and 7 and 8. Next, the major scale pattern. So you can write this in, or the tent is supposed to remind you that that's the half step. Everything else is whole steps, okay? So F to G, is that a whole step? Yes, okay? So think about it on your D string. Low second finger, violins and violas, cellos, second finger, up to G. Violins and violas, that would be 3rd finger. Cellos, that would be your 4th finger. So that's a whole step. So leave it. G to A, that's a whole step. Leave it. A to B. A to B is a whole step, but this tent tells me that I need it to be a half step. So I need to lower the second pitch. Don't lower the A, lower the B. So now I have a B flat right here, okay? B flat, remember the flat always comes on the left side. You write it on the left side of the note. B flat to C. Half step or whole step? Whole step. There's no tent here, so I can just leave it. C to D. I need that to be a whole step, and it is one, so leave it. D to E, is that a whole step? Yes, leave it alone. E to F, I need that to be a half step because I've got a tent there. E to F is already a half step, so I don't have to do anything to it. So the key of F, your last thing is how many flats are in the key of F? 1, name it. B flat, okay? The next one, B flat major, you're going to do the same thing. Mark the half step between note 3 and 4 and 7 and 8. B flat to C, half step or whole step? It's a whole step, so leave it. C to D, no tent, so leave it. It's a whole step, C to D. D to E, that is a whole step, and I have a tent over those two notes because that's note 3 and 4. So adjust the second note to make it a half step. So D to E flat. D to E is a whole step, so I need to make it smaller. So E flat, draw a flat on the left side of the note. Now, going on, E flat to F, is that a whole step or a half step? E to F is a half step, but E flat to F is a whole step, so leave it. F to G, I need that to be a whole step. It is a whole step, so leave it alone. G to A, that's a whole step, okay? A to B, I need that to be a half step, and I know it's the B flat scale, so I can't start on B flat and end on B, okay? So A to B flat. Now, it's only 2 flats because I use B flat and E flat. Don't count the last flat. It's the same note, okay? So B flat, you can't say B flat, E flat, B flat. That's the same thing, okay? So B flat and E flat, the key of B flat uses 2 flats. And what are they? B flat and E flat. Okay, now the other thing is that the first note and the last note are always the same, and they are both going to be flats from here on. All of the keys names in the flat keys have flat in them, okay? So when you count flats to answer that last question, don't count the first flat and the last flat as 2 different ones. They're the same one, okay? So finish out all of those scales. Do E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, and C flat. Okay. Then in the middle of the second page, what is the order of the flats? Do you remember that? Bead, go catch fish. Okay? So we always write the flats, bead, go catch fish. Our greatest common factor. Then the flat keys go around the circle of fifths, the opposite of the sharp keys. So we have C at the top, no sharps, no flats. Then what key is 1 flat? What key has 1 flat? You can look back at all of your scales. It's the first one, the key of F. It has 1 flat, which is B flat. Okay, what is the distance from C down to F? Because we're going the opposite way, okay? Or F up to C is a 5th. Okay, so as we go down through the flats, we're going down a 5th. All of the flat keys go around the circle of fifths by going down a 5th. All of the flat keys have a flat in their name except for F. F is the odd man out. It's just F. And he has 1 flat, B flat. So you can remember it. The key of F has 1 flat, which is B flat, okay? Now, B flat, E flat, A flat, G flat, D flat, C flat, you're never going to use sharps with those keys because there's flat in their name, okay? So they all have flats. It's easy to remember. The only hard one you have to remember is that the key of F uses flats, and it has 1 flat, B flat, okay? That is the circle of fifths. On the 3rd page, I show you what it looks like to have the flats keys and the sharp keys. Now, at the very bottom, at like 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, we have the flats and the sharps overlap. These are called enharmonic keys, okay? The cool thing is, look at 6 o'clock, G sharp. What's another way to say G flat? I put the wrong thing. Excuse me. G flat. What's another way to say G flat? F sharp, okay? So enharmonic keys are when if you play them, they will sound the same. I'll prove it. Here's G, right? G flat. There's G flat. Here's F sharp. G flat. F sharp. So, here's the kind of cool thing is the key of G flat is G flat, A flat. I'll play it. G flat, A flat, B flat, C flat, D flat, E flat, F, G flat. Here's the F sharp major scale. They sound the same. It's the same notes in the scale. It's just using different letters. In the G flat scale, we're using flats, and in the F sharp major scale, we're using sharps. okay? To say the same, to describe the same pitch. That is enharmonic. That happens with C flat and B. The key of B has 5 sharps. The key of C flat has 7 flats. The notes are the same. It's just how we say it. C flat, D flat, E flat, F flat, or D flat. I'm saying the D flat one for you. D flat, C flat. I'm all mixed up today. So they're the same. Do you believe me? Okay. So those are enharmonic. The sharps sound the same as the flat keys, and they will sound the same, but they're written differently. Okay. Those are the enharmonic keys. They only overlap at 5 sharps, 6 sharps, 7 sharps, and then on the opposite way going 5 flats, 6 flats, 7 flats. Okay, so on the bottom of that page, you're going to write in the names of the major keys and the blanks. I give you the sharps, and I tell you even what sharps they are in that key. You're going to write in the names of the major keys. Now, pay attention to this because next week, you're going to write in the names of the major keys and what sharps they have, okay? This week, I wrote it in there for you, so read what sharps and what flats it is. Notice that they are in the sharp order and flat order. We just keep adding one more, okay? Have a great week. I'll see you guys next week.